time, tag time, all the time. Come on, tag time, all the time, tag time, all the time. Come on, I take a knee, I take a kid and make him see, make believe in chasing his dreams and destiny. Truly accept the knowledge of part of the recipe. In order to have an impact, I first must invest in me. We sowing seeds, locally, globally, overseas. Integrity, dignity, yeah, we living by both of these. The season my players had to take a knee to cope with these. The police keep taking knees on our neck, how we supposed to breathe. Now look at me, I'm leading the movement like Booker T. Let's look at the aftermath when Kaepernick took a knee, when MLK took a march, Coretta Scott took a seat. I look defeat in the eyes and I declare victory. On 4th and long, I go for the gusto at 6 for me. Right when I cross the TD, I drop down and I take a knee. I'm giving God all the glory for giving the grace to me. Like I take a knee every morning and thank Him for waking me. I take a knee. Time, all the time.
Hey, good evening, good evening. Happy New Year's. This is 2022 and we're here at the UBGN studio with Mr. Tony Sweet. We're making this happen on a Wednesday night, and our guest tonight is going to be the Wee Ball Sports Attire. Boy, you guys are making it happen, so we can't wait to get to you guys. But first and foremost, we want to thank Coach Tutu just for the song that we're able to put together for Wee Ball Sports. And as we normally do at the start of the show, we just want to give a quick little update on what we're doing. You know, we got a group called Dream Givers. And what Dream Givers do, they do some incredible things for not just the student athletes, but they do the incredible things for the student athletes' parents, meaning they get involved and how do you become successful? What do you need to do some transitions and pivots to get everything right financially in your home? So we got Dream Givers. We want to thank Dream Givers just for the things that they do with the families of the athletes that they work with. Then we have the Friday Night Life. The Friday Night Life with Chris and Corrine Stevens and their podcast. Now what they're doing is, at one point they were just up and down California. Now they're going nationally. They're going across, rather, they're manifesting from California. They're going out. So they're what they do is they do a podcast with husbands and wives. So you get the family concept of what football, how does it gravitate and how does it evolve in a family atmosphere. And as always, we got Coach V, Coach V and the Island City podcast. He's part of the Alliance, and it's pretty awesome. And Coach V does some incredible things out there, and his foundation and what he does with students and just with the community up there in the Bay Area. Coach V, way to hang with it, my brother. Yes. And right now we're together with Project, and we're doing some good things with Project. We're working right now out at a Winter Circle Athletics. We got position training working on Tuesdays, Thursdays. Then we've got some progressive camps on Saturdays. So we really want to thank Jordan Campbell and the Winter Circle Athletic Program for giving us as a group to go out there and be able to perform and get the COD, get the change of direction mindsets, just bodies and all those things working for the youth right out there. But gentlemen and audience out there, none of this would be able to be taking place right now in the studios of where we're at here in Burbank if it wasn't for the generosity of Tony Jefferson. And what's a cool thing when the season started, Tony started with the 49ers, and he had just got let go of the Ravens, and then a few weeks ago the Ravens picked him back up. They got him on the practice squad 3 days later. Tony's making football plays back on the football field again. So we're really excited that the Ravens called Tony back to action. And it's pretty cool that in the years that he's been there, that's where he was embraced the most, and then they got him back home. So Tony's feeling really comfortable right now in the NFL over there. Just want to say hello to the family, the families out there. And, without the family, you guys all know that without that family, it's hard to go forward. And they kind of take the anxiety off of us and give us a clear road to travel. A good shout out to my wife and my son and my daughter-in-laws in their business, RTG. So if you guys looked at the video that we did, we said in the recipe that my wife has a seasoning out there, and it's RTG, ready to go. Just what you guys are. You guys are ready to make this thing happen. And so with that thing, we just embrace what we just got done. But the important thing is we're here for Wee Ball. We're here for Wee Ball, and we want to know, guys, right now, let's look at it. Is it Darian?
Yes, sir.
When you guys, the three of you guys, or all of you guys, you're in college. You guys are athletes, and I kind of want to write up a picture here. And you're football guys, so you guys understand micro minutes, micro time blocks. Who's got to be able to handle a column? Those all things are embedded in football players. That management segment, you can literally put it as a Tetris and put it right where it needs to be, and you guys been grooving with it. I don't know if you've done any of that, but in everything that I've done, and I started a business, I didn't know nothing about a business, so I turned it into a practice type of program, and it kind of helped me. But I just want everybody to know that you guys were athletes, then you went on to college. And I want you to take that story on from college, because you guys all, three of you, four of you, you guys all had a reason why you went to college. And I want to know what they are. Then why are we ball? What's the transition? Can you kind of share that with us right there, and kind of just lead us into the greatness that we're starting to witness right now?
Yeah, so I guess I can kind of start with my story. So, like you said, I mean, I played football my entire life. I was fortunate enough to go to a high school here in Atlanta, Georgia, where it was almost like a funnel for college athletes. I think we had like 21 kids go to college. My senior year, 16 went to like D1, Power 5 schools. So I was fortunate enough to, end up getting a scholarship to go to Vanderbilt University. I had other offers and stuff like that, but as far as like my parents and stuff, they were kind of big on education. And
well, when you say Vanderbilt, you know what we're listening to right now. Come on.
So, so it kind of got the best of both worlds, being in the SEC and then getting the education part of it. To be honest, I didn't know much about Vanderbilt. I mean, I always did decent in school and things like that. When I first got to college, I planned on, doing like pre-law and things like that. But just with going to Vanderbilt, I will say it's a little tougher than your typical schools. So that kind of quickly changed, and I kind of went on to the business path of school there. And then, once I graduated, I ended up getting a free agent deal to the LA Rams. So I was with them for a few months. Then I ended up getting cut. So from there, I know a lot of athletes out there, they kind of get stuck in that loop but continue to play. But I was kind of content with my story. And I was fine with, because I knew I gave it my all. So I was kind of done with getting to the next chapter of my life. And, we ball didn't start right after that transition from the NFL. It happened a few years after that, so obviously I had to go out there and get a job. I kind of worked my ranks up pretty fast just with the hard work I learned, obviously, from football all those years. And, in between that's when kind of We Ball had got started, and we kind of started, growing as a brand. And then actually 2021 of July is when I finally went full time. I quit my 9-to-5 job and just been doing We Ball 100% full time now. So it's, definitely been a blessing in getting that change.
Yeah, your body posture when you go, and then I had to get a job. When you talk about We Ball, we up there. So I love that, because you can just see in you that there was a drive, and that drive was embedded. It was embedded. You could see it at a young age, and fortunately, Vanderbilt, they come calling, and that's the key thing. What I do is recognize that you're gonna get your name called, and grades are important for that name to be called, for you to get called on your final time to get a scholarship offer. That I think that's pretty awesome. But I like to hear the other stories. Let's get this thing to roll. Next man up.
My story is pretty similar to that. So, I always was into sports growing up. I played football, basketball, baseball, everything. So, I was fortunate enough after high school to get a scholarship to Sacramento State, and that's where I met Demetrius, and we became, really good friends and everything like that, and roommates. And after about 2 years at Sacramento State, I, just decided that I wanted, a change, and I wanted to kind of play in a bigger stage and, at a bigger school. and I thought that I had the skill set to do so. So I kind of just took a chance, and I left my full scholarship at Sacramento State, and I went to a junior college, City College in San Francisco. So if you know anything about a junior college, really nothing's guaranteed. You have to pay for everything for your schooling, transportation, food, housing. I was actually fortunate to live with my parents during that time. So, but there's a lot of kids, coming out of different states that they just have to kind of find a way, figure out where they should live and everything like that. So, yeah, I just went to City College for one semester. We ended up going all the way to the national championship. We lost, and then I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship to Vanderbilt, and that's where I met Darian. And from there, we always we formed a relationship really from day one, because we were both like linebackers. And yeah, after football, things kind of didn't really go my way my senior year as far as like playing time. So when you don't have film and everything, it's hard to get to the next level. So um, I did my pro day. It wasn't really any interest, and I kind of just, gave up football because I just didn't want to be kind of like how Darian was alluding to. I didn't want to be in that cycle of just trying to, just keep training, and you have no certainty of, what's next. So, I also too just went and found like kind of a 9 to 5 job, and, worked there for a little bit, and I didn't find much, I really didn't find much value in working a 9 to 5 job. So that's kind of like where We Ball Sports came into play. And I would just sit in my room one day, and I noticed that there was a specific type of accessory. So our first product is the streamer towel, and I noticed that it was extremely popular, but nobody really made it in the market, like none of these bigger brands. And really with the streamer towel, it's just like a football towel, but it's just in like a different dimension than your normal football towel. And when I did my research, I found out that nobody made this product, yet a lot of people kind of just like made it themselves. And then I researched how to figure out how to make kind of the first prototypes, and then after that, then you know use like methods of marketing such as like influencer marketing in order to get the product on to other different players within the NFL. And then it kind of picked up steam, and then that's kind of like when Darian got involved, because we always had like a really good relationship, and we were always communicating back and forth with each other. And yeah, and he was serious about it, and he always was like, had an interest in, what we were doing. And then as well, with Demetrius, we, once he figured out what he wanted, once he figured out what we were doing, he was on board. And, basically, everybody that helped from, I didn't meet Jerome until I think maybe a year or two later, but, basically these three guys, like they never asked for anything. They were just always like willing to work, willing to do whatever just to, just get the brand more out there. And that's just kind of what I think is important when you're building anything, is you need to find a team, and you need to find people that believe in what you're doing. And they don't all, we always value like money and everything like that. But when you're building something, that can't always just be your first objective. And that's just kind of what I feel like was fortunate enough for us, is that through football, it allowed me to build relationships with people. And that's just, what it all falls back into. When anything you build, you just, you need a team. And, from this day, I've just been really fortunate to just have a great support system. And then we've been able to build, what we built so far with We Ball Sports.
And listening just to that, because those are some crazy pivots. Those are Pivots coming right off of transitions. You talk about JC football a little bit. I coached JC football for 18 years, and you're from you played at the city of San Francisco, and we played them in a national title, 1997. And we ended up winning that one, but I do understand JC and the grind, and when you can come out of the JC with your head on top of the water, then you didn't get influenced. You attacked the task at hand, and you know why you went there, and then you got out. And one of the things we say is it's not about hanging out, it's about getting out. And you got out, and getting out is pretty awesome. And then you talk about relationships. In the synergistic circles of life, there's you got to have a circle of passion, being the best of something in a relationship, and there's got to be some kind of monetary or some kind of value that comes out of it. But you guys definitely have that. You got you put three of you together, you got synergists, and then the fourth who always going to be able. Any one of you can be the fourth, and when you're the fourth, you just guide whatever that column is for you at that point. But and you said it. You said it, Nehemiah. You said it, that nobody's asking for nothing and they're getting it done. They're getting it done, and that's what I'm talking about when deadlines are done. It's going to get done, and you guys step into the plate. I think that's pretty awesome. I can't wait to hear what you got to offer here, Mr. Demetrius. You up, baby? Come on.
Yeah, so my name is Demetrius. All of us have a pretty similar path to where we've been and where we're trying to go. I was fortunate enough, I've been playing football, track, my whole life. So just dealing with all types of athletes. Growing up in Fresno, I was fortunate enough to have multiple scholarships. Just how anything chose Sac State. That's when I met Nehemiah. We came in, same recruiting class, same recruiting trip, and just kind of hit it off from there. Just through all the things, I would definitely say all of us have a pretty similar goal. We don't really think about the now. We thinking about the overall goal of what it is, like how Nehemiah harped on. We don't really ask for much. We all know the assignment of what we need to do, of pretty much of where we want this to go. So pretty much having a team collectively on the same path and same goals is definitely a blessing in disguise, because not a lot of people can do or can be on the same team and work collectively, for sure.
Awesome. That's nice and short and crisp, but just to piggyback on that a little bit, we all heard that little cliche, there's no I in team.
Yeah.
Right. And that when someone says that, everyone goes, no shit. There ain't no I in team. But there's an M and an E. And it's not about me. It's about more execution, more enthusiasm, more everybody, more excitement. But there's an M and an E. And you guys, in a sense, have that handle. You understand the team concept. More everybody, more energy, more enthusiasm, more execution, all those things. And you guys just do it. You do it naturally. Why? Because it's part of your fibers. You said it. You got so much commonality in with each other. You probably all walk the same in a sense, right? And you have the same mindset. So when that's happening, that's synergy. But the three of you clicking like that is awesome. Then all of a sudden, I can see athletes. I see that there was two linebackers, because we talk about I'm a linebacker coach, and then there's a skill guy. Demetrius, was you a receiver?
Running back.
Okay, there's a skill guy, right? And then there's a nose guard, right? There's a fourth guy, and how did Jerome get hooked up with you guys and all of a sudden bring that little Southern California taste into the limelight? So Jerome, if you could touch base a little bit on that, we would love to hear your story and how it all joined up.
Very, very, very unconventional.
Put that a little closer to you.
After high school, pretty much, I wasn't highly touted. As far as I moved around quite a bit, playing football on the East Coast and the West Coast, between DC and LA as well. So I moved around quite a bit, but I found my fitting at junior college. That was my story as well. Went to Mount San Antonio College. I'm sitting here with my actual defensive coach when I was at Mount Sac. And he became like a father figure to me. You know, he did a lot of great things for me, showed me really how to become an actual football player. And it showed on the field with that afterwards. Had some good recruiting efforts, things like that. Ended up going to Morgan State, was also recruited by a couple D1s, things like that, but ended up at Morgan State. Didn't like it for whatever reason. Came back to California. Walked into my coach's office, and he was on the phone with Tuskegee University. Tuskegee University said, "We love you. Come on down." And it was love as soon as I got there. I loved it. I loved the people. I loved being in the South. I hadn't really been in the South too much, so it was like a California kid going down South. Y'all already know how it is down there when an LA boy in the South. So having that, you know, just family around me, things like that, it really, really helped me out. And after that, pretty much, you guys don't know too much. My background, as far as my family's background, was in the automotive industry. My father was a real big heavy mover and shaker in LA in the automotive industry. He passed away in my senior year. So after that, it was like, what am I going to do? You know, my life support system that I thought, you know, to me was, you know, not here anymore. So all of the top automakers came at me, "We'll take care of you, you know." No problem. So I ended up with Toyota in sales and finance management. Did that for quite some time. Had a good run with it. But it got to the point where me having a daughter made me say that I can't do it anymore because I was spending too much time at a car lot. And if anybody knows, the car business in Los Angeles is the top market in the world. So the thing about it was I have to find a way that I can still make the type of income that I was making and just not sit at a car lot and still be around for my daughter, things like that. And I stepped out on faith. I went up to Silicon Valley and just started networking. At a few places, all the big top companies, things like that, and came across these gentlemen here through a mutual friend of mine, one of my relatives, and it's been on go ever since. It was just something about these gentlemen, which they're younger than me. And it was just something about their drive, their hustle that, you know, hustlers know hustlers. People that movers and shakers know movers and shakers. And I just really took to it like a water to fish. They introduced me to their products. I fell in love with the fact that they had something going on that was just like at the ground floor. Oh my God, I got to get in on this. And yeah, it's really opened my eyes and changed my life for the fact that I see the future of what can be with this company, and I wouldn't have it any other way with these gentlemen here. They've showed me some things that I haven't gotten as far as from a team aspect. We're talking about team. It's nothing happens without the team, without everyone on the same accord, all on one accord moving forward. And yeah, it's a lot of great stuff coming with these guys.
Awesome. You know, and hearing that, that's pretty awesome because one of the things I remember was Jerome doing like he said he was doing, and all of a sudden I don't talk to him for a few years, and we hook up right near the beginning of that COVID gig when it all started. And I says, "Well, what are you doing?" And he says, "Coach, I got this thing. Can I come to your house?" So he come to my house, and he brings me some Wii Ball products. Man, and I'm one of those guys, I'm thinking, man, this is happening, right? And then I go, you hooked up with this? And so then I even talked to Tony Jefferson, guys. I go, "Hey, Tony, man, I got this thing. I want to bring these guys on a podcast. I'm going to have an opportunity to meet these people." And I go, "And your boy, I just saw a picture of your boy, that Tyron Matthew. He was at, in Tony's wedding, I believe, or he was there. But he was like," I go, "Your boy's got this Wii Ball." He goes, "What do you know about Wii Ball?" I go, "Man, I'm going to meet these people." So you guys already been in our fibers, in our like they said, the Force, in Star Wars, there's the Force. and man, I think we meshed in. So, and hearing what you guys are doing is incredible. And I look at those transitions and those pivots, and really those relationships are important. If you don't have relationships, don't go. And trust is really important, and believe in all that stuff. For all this stuff to mesh in, there's a higher power throwing this thing together, because you guys come from different phases of the earth, and here you guys are latched in with each other. You're stuck on the hip, miles apart. So I think that addresses itself in a big fashion. But here we are right now. Let's say we're at a halftime phase in you guys' life, and you got your business rolling right now, and you've done through it in about 2 or 3 years of a year without the COVID. You did 2 years of the COVID, and then we're back in it where everybody's getting jacked up again. So the mindsets are different. But what I recognize with you guys, hey, dead mindsets, they don't move. Your mindset stayed alive. You stayed hungry. So when we looked at that right there, and really as we visit those harmonic steps that kind of got you guys through the COVID, and people look at them, all you could say to those people is, like, we got them. Your lack of energy provided more energy right here, and it opened up a freeway that we're going to ride. And you guys did it. And with that happening, what's the new pivot? What's going to be the new pivot? And when we say the new pivot is what's hidden in your secret. Because now as you're out, and if you stay out, you start to plateau. I don't see you guys looking at no kind of plateau, and you found yourself a tool. It's called a podcast. The knowledge and form of sharing from your own experience. Man, you create a template. And this is what I tell the players, and I tell coaches. I coach coaches. I said to teach once is to learn twice. So in that podcast, you guys are just going to polish your tools. I just want to know why. Why podcast, and what do you guys plan to do with it? Because I'm in alliance with some podcasters. I like to be able to say we get in an alliance. That way we be able to share all you guys' information and get it out globally and be a part of that alliance. But I think you guys are worthy of that thing, because we're blessed with some young entrepreneurs. Hell, I'm going to be done in 20 years, maybe underneath the ground. But you guys are going to be living it. You're going to be living it. So I like to be able to share what we're doing right here in the studio and get you guys involved in what we're doing also. Because our community needs Weeball. Not just the attire, they need the mindset that nothing's going to stop you guys. And I want to know how. And what are you guys going to do to make that mindset the finished mindset? Can you share that a little bit with us there, Damien? Can you do that for us? Darian.
Yeah, so we just kind of started that podcast just to we want to give our story, give everybody our side of the story, and also we just want to always give back to people, because we know there are a lot of athletes out there and just people in general who maybe had one goal in life, and then obviously that goal wasn't met. So a lot of people get deterred from that, but we always want to show that, whatever your plans were originally there, and if it doesn't work out, there's always something after that you can do, whether that's start a business or, be your own entrepreneur or whatever you can do. And we kind of got the podcast rolling just to kind of get those conversations going about like how we started our business, how we did this, how we did that, just kind of giving free game for a lot of these people, younger people, or it could be older people as well, because you could be 40 and start a business. You could be 50 and start a business. You don't have to be young.
You put me in an age, man, that I'm not even in your calculations, dog. Come on now. You could be old. He said 40. Man.
Older.
You could be
Coach.
on the older spectrum of things. And then, now we're starting to bring in guests as well to kind of tell their story. Like there's a guy, OD, who trains a ton of guys, NFL, college to high school players. He just trains them all. So we kind of want to just build a platform to kind of get their stories out as well. Just bring on different guests, different entrepreneurs and things like that who have similar stories to us when it comes like to sports and life after football, life after basketball, whatever that may be, just to kind of give them a platform as well to kind of come on and discuss with us. And, we just want to change some lives, and it's just free game. We're not charging anything for anybody to be able to view these podcasts. We're just giving out free game for all these people, and we just keep planning on expanding it, just keep making it a lot bigger than what it is.
That's one of my favorite 4-letter F words, free. I love that, because when you're doing that, you're really in you're in the grace of giving, and when you can give of yourself and authentically and genuinely feel comfortable with it, and knowing that the world got better because you gave of yourself. You know, the Lord says that you're going to get paid back in 30 to 60 to 100 fold. But you can't be walking around with your hands open waiting for it. He's going to give it to you, and it might be in the form of a podcast. We just got to really embrace what we receive, because when you're in the business of the give, look what you guys have done in such a short time, and nobody's asking for nothing. You made that very clear, and everybody's authentically and genuinely happy.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yeah.
that's RTG. That's a recipe for success, ready to go. So when I hear that collectively, Nehemiah, collectively, what would you say is an important ingredient in you guys' salad bowl of a finished mindset to make sure that your guys stay on track? You know, not popping from here to there, but in that finished mindset. Can you add to that, please?
It's just really having everybody who's involved with what we're doing just bought into the process and just understand the roadmap of the company, where we're at right now and where we're trying to go and what we're trying to get to. I think once, I mean, you know, as a coach and, you know, being a part of different football teams, you could attribute a large amount of the success to the individuals that are on the team. And then if there's how many individuals are bought into the process of what, you know, the coach is trying to get across to those specific individuals that are a part of the team. And then you see it all the time. Like sometimes some teams have like a what they call a cancer, where you know, they are not all bought in, and then they start swaying other individuals that are part of the team to kind of disrupt what's going on. So essentially what we're just trying to do is just try to have everybody on the same page in everything that we're doing. And you know, what we try to pride ourselves in our business is just always being on the forefront of innovation, always having the best quality and best affordable pricing. And we feel like those values can relate with really any consumer on the market. And really, no matter what we're selling, those are what most people are looking for when they're purchasing, you know, products.
You know, when you sit and listen to Darian and you hear Nehemiah, Demetrius, and you look at that, how would you collectively put those two things together and give a quick foot down and head up the hash right now? What would be the quick tide that would build it together? You're saying, and I like that you talked about those cancers, because cancer's got to get weeded real quick, and where you guys are at right now, you rely on everything. So how important is it just to have faith? But what one word or what one thing, Demetrius, ties it together that you go, man, I know what we're doing, and this is why it works. Can you put that in there?
Yeah, I would say if we had to use one word, I would for sure use not more sense of a comfortability, but just more of an understanding of everything that's going on. You know, like with all of us, we've each been through the past of us basically knowing since we know the game of football, we know where it's to go to in the future. So like the younger generation itself, just giving them game as well. I would say just all of us are just basically creative in a sense. I would say creativity. That would be the biggest thing. Longevity as well, giving the youth something that we've all never had. We never had the streamer towels. I would have loved, I was a running back. I used to always cut my towels up as well. So just anything as far as that, comfortability, giving people that something that they will enjoy even in the long run, in a sense. Like myself, I never been the one to have the Nike, the visors and all that other stuff. Just like how Nehemiah harped on, just low cost and effective. That would definitely take us a long way, being more beneficial to everybody on our team, all the customers in general. So it definitely takes a long way with it for sure.
That's awesome. And listening to the three guys talk, Jerome, and you being the guy that's the old guy. Jerome's an old guy right here, and we're only a few years apart. But
he got the best back pedal of all of us here still.
And listening to them, Jerome, what do you feel about the communication that you guys have as a group? Because I really believe in one thing, that if you're a solid defense, you communicate everything before the snap. You kind of understand what's coming at before it's even happening. Mm-hmm. That's called conceptual. Mm-hmm. You can see it, things happen. You talked about that, Demetrius, about understanding what's going on. You guys understand the future, what's all that in. So when you look at that communication, what's your add to that?
My whole thing is that everyone knows their role. Everyone plays their position. Everyone knows exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Everybody knows what the goal is of the company going forward. So no one's gonna, there isn't gonna be too much miscommunication about X, Y, or Z, because everything is laid out. Nehemiah, Darion, the way that everything gets laid out, it's very easy to say, yes, this is what we're concentrating on for the future. So we need to attack this very, very hard so that this affects the future, because the more customer acquisition, the better the brand is going to be. The more we get it out there, the more people see it. It has to be more visual, things like that. Just complete overall branding, and everybody's on the same page. Everybody's on the same page.
That's awesome, because I think in listening to that, that's a foundation. And when that comes abroad in four people talking, but they all talk it, that's the mild manner of the message getting across. You could be excited, it can get across. You could be soft-spoken, it can get across. But it got across, guys, and it's clear that you guys communicate. Greatness comes within communication, and you guys have it. And I think that's cool for anybody that wants to be able to stay afloat when you're sailing with the battleships. And you can do that. Why? Because here's what I'm saying is,
Coach, if I don't fill my gap, what happens?
They're gonna run there. A guy like Demetrius is gonna see that that's a void.
If I don't fill my gap, then he can't come behind and clean. Then they can't come behind and clean up. If he doesn't fill his gap, then it's just all works together.
But
knowing your role.
my point is, what you guys got, if he doesn't fill his gap, a guy like Demetrius will recognize that.
Exactly.
And then he'll turn around and goes, guys, there's a gap right there.
Yep, he's not.
And if I had the ball, I'd hit it. Well, that's a cutback. One of you linebackers got to be able to fold yourself over.
Boom.
So something's got to happen, or you can't be coming upfield too much. Right. We're not that fast.
That's right.
Let's flatten it down, Jerome.
That's right.
And then let's play the next step. When we're looking at for his third step, he ain't even took his first. So I really like that you guys understand a foundation. That's the key to it. So your mindsets are solid, and with that, how do you leverage the strengths to help the youth? And you see it. You said that, Nehemiah. You seen the future. You said that, Demetrius, about I had to cut my own shit. right? And I wouldn't mind wearing that, an affordable face mask. So you guys have been able to see that. So your GPS has been incredible. And for me, GPS is just God provides sight. And you have the faith, you guys can see it all. You know, when it boils down to it, hell, you have to pray for something. And then you never know when it's going to come up. And for you guys, stay within your faith. You guys have it. You know, one bounces, you guys piggyback very well with each other, too. It's an incredible team. It's an incredible team. I'm just thrilled with it. Guys, and to be able to build a foundation in the second half of a football game when you had to leave a lot of things back and you can only bring some new things, and you guys did that. But you got to always go back to the foundation when there's a turnover. That's a sudden change. And then you find a coach that's going to come out to the hash that's going to look at you and get you comfortable to play that play to make sure that's going to happen. 4th and 1, we're going to give the ball to Demetrius. And he's going to read it right, and he's going to get the first down. You guys know what's going to happen. You guys have already played that. So now you get to see everything. That's called conceptual. When you can see it happen before it happens, it's conceptual. So Nehemiah, you had a thought. You saw it. You know, Darian, you went right with it. You guys jumped right in it. That's conceptual. That's greatness. So going from good to great, I can get on the dance floor and dance. I'm a pretty good dancer. But why not grab the floor of greatness and watch them dance and go, oh, shit, I dance just the same. People are afraid to get on a dance floor with the great ones because they're afraid they can't stay afloat. Mm-hmm. And the reason why, they keep looking at their feet. They can't believe that they're even on that platform. You guys got on the platform and kept the eyes going forward. Congratulations. That's pretty damn awesome. And in everything we do, there's going to be a 2-minute warning at the end of the game. And at that point, you got to come through to solidify what you're doing. So how do you guys handle the deadlines? Peacefully. When they're yours or they're not yours, but they're just plain ass due. How do you get the people under your umbrella to embrace all of that and stay hungry? Remember, we're in a new era, so some things are going to happen. You got to take all considerations and get it done.
I just think all of our personalities go into that we're always hungry. Like, I mean, we've had so much success last year in 2021. And I mean, I know a lot of people get like content with that and kind of just keep the steady path. But I mean, we're just continually hungry, and, you know, we just keep wanting to grow and get better and better every year. We're not satisfied with what we did with 2021 anymore. That's old news. We're looking at 2022 and how much more, how bigger we can get at that point. So I think that goes a lot into just our overall mindset and our growth and that we see into this company that we have, and just, make sure that we're top of, ahead of our game, just making sure we're in contact with our manufacturers, all of our scheduling is right when we're going to run ads, just all the different type of things. We're constantly seeing the trends and everything like that. That's like something we do pretty much every day. We try to notice different trends in different sports, whether it's football. Now we're getting into a lot more basketball, so we're trying to notice those trends. So it's just an everyday thing for us at this point, for us to just stay on that steady path of growth.
That's funny that you would mention trends, because on my notes right here, I had read that you guys tapped into the cultural trends of it all. You see it all. That's what I'm talking about, conceptual work. And when you see it like that, you get to walk into something real tight and it looks extremely huge. And that's where you're at, man. And those cultural trends, you recognize them. And cultural trends can change from a block to a city to an area, but you've recognized those. I mean, that's awesome. Your guys' hindsight is within your first step. That's beauty. And let's look at this right here, Nehemiah. It's the last play of the game. And what do you leave for those to resonate on, or for the elevation of their journey and the enhancement for their program? So if you had a quote to say and you said it, people would go, wow, that's awesome. And then they would think about it and go, that's Weeball. Certain people have their little gig, but amongst you guys, and you say something, does Demetrius go, man, that's Nehemiah? Darian say, yeah, that's Nehemiah. That's one of his favorites. And the same thing right here with Jerome. So what's the fiber you're going to spit out? I want to hear it.
You know, during times like analogy kind of where it's kind of like the last play of the game and, you know, it's the most important time. It just goes back to, I would just say, trusting your training, because your training should have gave you all the preparation to accomplish whatever needs to be done during that, you know, extremely critical and important time. So in relating to business, that just goes back to preparation and just having all of our just all of our policies and everything that like our SOPs, our standard operating procedures, just like having everything that we do on a daily basis, just having everybody on the team understanding that and just reiterating that knowledge and just being able to perform during that critical time. Because I would say, like, if we were to compare like a last play of the game to business, you know, some you know, compare that to like a time in business, for us, that would be kind of like during Black Friday. That's, you know, the most important time. That's kind of what all business, you know, retail businesses are building up towards.
That's the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's kind of like the Super Bowl, or, you know, that's the 4th and 1. So for us, it's just like, you know, just preparing and understanding our workflows, understanding our, you know, our inventory levels, our supply chain, you know, just making sure that we have enough product to sell during that time. All that just goes into, you know, our preparation, and we're able to build out that workflow and build out those processes throughout the year. And we could test different things and different strategies so that during that, you know, 2 to 3 months before Black Friday, we're prepared and we understand what we need to do.
You know, that's awesome. And for us in the show, I think you hit it off. I mean, for me, it's that's it. That is just it. And that's tack time all the time. And I've been saying it for 20 plus years. Tack time all the time. TAK time all the time. And what is it? That's when you are truly accepting knowledge. So what you guys did it today is you really spit out some authentic stuff, you know, and it was genuine. You guys popped that out, and I can't wait to re-see it. I can't wait to really meet you guys in person. I think that's going to be an awesome gig. I wouldn't mind and carrying on a little further and see exactly how do we fit. You know, what can we do to elevate each other? Because I think it's going to be some awesome. And I don't know if it's a bold request, but man, I want to be on my next show wearing something that says Weeball. I want to be training somebody to something that says Weeball, and then people will turn around and go, "Damn, Coach Coco knows about Weeball." Yeah, but man, I'm joking. You guys don't have to do that, but man, I would love it. Man, come on now.
Yeah, Jerome, get your address and your information. Yeah, we'll definitely ship you out a care package. Don't worry at all.
But guys, I'm in awe.
He got the socks. He already wearing the socks. Right and left,
man.
Wearing the socks. He already
right and left.
He be walking around in them. I'll be seeing him. He don't be wearing no shoes.
So I think the beauty of the podcast is that anybody that feels that a situation can shackle them down, they need to see this. Because ain't nothing holding you guys back but common sense and fear. And the way I look at it, you guys probably don't have neither one of those. Because you guys are heading forward. You don't care what the hell's in front of you. You're going to break the river. What you guys truly are is you're not a ship hanging out in the harbor. You're out in the ocean breaking waves, making waves, and journey. Congratulations on what you guys have done so far. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen when this thing's doubled up. You guys been together now, what, 5 years? So what's going to happen what's going to happen at 10? What's going to happen at 10? So I can't wait for that. Jerome, thank you very much for setting this whole thing up. Absolutely. Guys, I appreciate that you guys spent some time in the East Coast to be able to get on the show with us. Tony, I think this was a pretty nice little one that we popped together. Thank you very much for your work. And at this point, we just want to get a recap. You know, we want to thank Tony Jefferson once again for doing his thing. You know, on the picture that you see right there, it was 4th down and goal. They put Tony in, and Tony does what he does. Made a tackle for loss, and there he is, you know, letting people know that, hey, thank you for embracing me. He called them the best fans in the world. So, well, Tony's thanking them, we're thanking him, and thanking them for him, because without him, there's no us. So thank you very much, Tony, once again. And like we say, are they ready for it? Well, next week, we're bringing in my cousin, Milo Lorenzana from San Diego. You guys are going to love this over there, my Wee Ball brothers. He just opened up his 3rd restaurant, 2nd one during the COVID time. How's that happening? So we're going to hear that pivot, and maybe somebody's going to hear that. But that's the beauty of what we do here with the Take and Eat Transitions. We find out what shackled you, or what's shackling the people, and who's the ones that's fighting through it. Those are the templates we want to be able to share. And thank you guys for giving us that. And once again, we're going to end it with what you guys do. Tack time all the time with your Wee Ball song. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. Tack time. All the
time. All the time. Come on. Tack time. All the time. All the time. Tack time. All the time. Come on. I take the kid and make him see. Make him believe in chasing his dreams and destiny. Truly accept the knowledge, a part of the recipe. In order to have an impact, I first must invest in me. We sowing seeds, locally, globally, overseas. Integrity, dignity, yeah, we living by both of these. The seeds of my players had to take a knee to COVID thieves. The police keep taking knees on our neck, how we supposed to breathe. Now look at me, I'm leading the movement like Booker T. Let's look at the aftermath when Kaepernick took a knee. When MLK took a march and Coretta Scott took a seat. I look for feet in the eyes and I declare victory. On 4th and long, I go for the gusto, that's 6 for me. Right when I cross the TD, I drop down and I take a knee. I'm giving God all the glory for giving the grace to me. Like I take a knee every morning and thank him for waking me. I take a knee.